Ready? Start.
Alright guys, this is me and Michael Heichel's bio-final project. It's a comparison of a plant versus an animal cell. On the left we have a plant, and on the right we got an animal. So let's get into it. Let's compare let's look at some of the traits that the plant has. So if we go down here, we can see that plant cells are seen in bamboo, carrots, flowers, trees, other flowers. I mean, it's just any plant life you'll see plant cells in. And let's start discussing the organelles within the cell. So, Mikey, you want to discuss them?
The first organelle is the cell membrane. The cell membrane is represented by this uh,
This
almost
light green
neon
section.
green light color that goes around the whole square. Cell membrane's job is a double layer that supports and protects the cell. It allows materials in and out.
All right, next is the cell wall here. It's this dark green looking thing. The main job of the cell wall is to provide structure and protection to the plant cell. So, plant cells are generally seen as very square shaped because of the cell wall. Its main job is just to protect the cell.
Um, the next part is going to be the lysosome.
They're the pink concrete cubes,
The
as shown
lysosomes
here.
are they contain digestive enzymes that destroy damaged organelles.
They're
They're
found
very
all over the
important.
cell, just anywhere really.
Uh, the next, um, the next organelle is the nucleus. Johnny will show you that.
Yes, the nucleus is the purple box right here. It's the hub for the entire cell. It gives out specific commands to the cell's functions. It's basically just the brain of the entire cell. Within that, we have the nucleolus, which is where all the DNA and genetic information is stored.
And next we have the cytoplasm.
Cytoplasm is nothing in here is representing the cytoplasm. It's just empty space. The space that I move in is the cytoplasm. Basically, it's this gel-like mold that holds all of its structures within the cell. So things just don't bounce around. They're stuck in like a jello kind of thing, and
Correct.
gives it nice structure.
Alrighty, now next, nucleolus.
We already did that.
Oh yes, we included that with the nucleus.
My
Um,
mistake.
my mistake. The vacuole is the next organelle we're looking at.
It's this big blue tinted glass here. It's basically just a giant storage bank for food and water for the
Yeah.
cell.
Um, the next thing we have is in this light orange, almost yellow tint, is the Golgi body.
No, Michael, that is wrong.
I lied. That is the
That is
uh,
the
uh,
endoplasmic reticulum.
reticu- correct. My sincerest apologies.
Basically, it's a tunnel system throughout the cell, transports materials from the nucleus to and without the cell, to and around the cell, just going around, giving materials and foods and other proteins.
So next, I think it'd only be right to look at the Golgi body.
It would be only right. It's this blue colored concrete. Michael, would you like to describe the function of the Golgi body?
The Golgi body does it processes and packages materials for the cell. It's its job.
Right near the vacuole. Makes sense. After
Next
that,
up,
the mitochondrion. It's these orange 2x1s. They're the powerhouse of the cell. They just basically they take in materials and they turn it into power that the cell can use to function.
correct. It's usually
After
called the powerhouse.
after that, we have chloroplasts, which are the light green glass 2x1s, which takes in sunlight and turns that into energy for the plant cell. Also, the
Yes,
mitochondrion and
sir.
the chloroplast, they work together.
And we did we go over ribosomes yet?
We did not. It's the final one.
The final part, the ribosomes. They
Uh,
are represented by these little
the
lanterns
lanterns, they're spread throughout the cell, tiny little dot things.
that make protein for the cell, and they're very important.
hmm So that,
Alright.
folks, is what the inside of a plant cell would look like. Let's move on to
Correct.
the animal cell. Hold on.
Show them the examples, Mr.
This is an
Dobbins.
example of an animal built up of millions of cells, and a sword could destroy those cells. Whoa, rest in pepperoni. All right. Basically, an animal cell doesn't have the cell wall actually. They're circular shaped. We just made it in a square shape because it's easier for the demonstration for comparison reasons. But usually these squares would be cut off and put into like a
Yeah.
spherical shape. All right.
Well,
Most of
starting
these
off.
oh,
Oh, sorry.
okay. Well, most of the organelles are similar, but animal cells are missing some, and like plant cells are missing others. I mean, but most of them, for the most part, are the same. So let's start off with the nucleus, the classic controller for the cell. I mean, basically the big brain again. With inside that, it also has the nucleus, which also has DNA stored in there. After that, we have the endoplasmic reticulum, the yellow-shaped thing around the nucleolus, which is just a transporter of materials throughout the cell. Michael, would you like to continue with the next couple organelles?
Again, you see the 2x1 mitochondria in the orange color. Again, these are the powerhouse of the cells. They break down food, produce energy in the form of ATP. In pink, you see no, not the vacuoles, the lysosomes. They are little pink 1x1. They're a double layer that they contain digestive enzymes that destroyed organelles.
Animal cells also have cytoplasm, which is just this empty space that I'm able to move around in. It's just easier for the demo.
Yes.
But it's like another
Jelly-like.
gel-like fluid. Yep. They also have ribosomes, as shown in the lanterns here. They also make proteins for the cells. They're spread throughout the cell. Pretty self-explanatory, as they're also in the plant cell. Animal cells have a series of vacuoles. They don't have one giant vacuole bank like the plant cell, but they have rather one. In this one, it has 1, 2, 3, but it can have anything from like 1 to like as many as possible. They're just same thing as the regular vacuole of food and water storage. Just these ones are smaller for the demo because plants or animal cells can have multiple.
Yes.
Up top here we have the Golgi body, which once again packages materials for the cell.
Yeah.
Same exact function. Just put it in the same spot because it's easier.
Alright, would you like to talk about the differences between these two cells?
Okay, let's start with differences. First one is the cell wall. Tends not to have. Animal cells don't have a cell wall. They only have the membrane. Animal cells are circular shaped because of the membrane. It's almost like it's strong, but it's also like free moving. Whereas cell walls are like very strict in their form. So plant cells would be like a square shape, and animal cells could be like any like spherical gooey shape. Plant cells tend to have green colors, like with our cell wall, and then with our cell membrane, it's green colored. The chloroplasts are green colored because green's very good for taking in sunlight, which is how a plant gets the majority of its food. Animal cells, they can honestly are like whatever color, like the organ that it makes up are, the skin, the heart, the liver. It just depends on the type of membrane that it has. They have a lot of plant and animals have a lot of the same organelles. Some of them are like distorted and disfigured, like the vacuoles shown here. But other than that, plant and animal cells, for the most part, have the same organelles.
Yeah.
And that is our. Yeah, it sums it up. That's our comparison of plant versus animal cells for our final project.
Yeah.